In 2023, Utah set a record seizing 664,000 fentanyl pills. In the first 6 months of this year, the state has already shattered that record, seizing 774,000 pills. With large amounts of fentanyl continuing to get pulled off of Utah streets, law enforcement leaders say the supply problem is getting worse. I'm KUTV's Jim Spiewak taking a closer look at the state of fentanyl in our state. Fentanyl is a killer. According to the DEA, the leading cause of death in people between the ages of 18 and 45 in this country is drug overdose. 70% of those from fentanyl poisoning.
And I want you all to know, more than anything, that these drugs are in your community. They're in your neighborhood. This is not a bad part of town issue. These are in nice neighborhoods. These are in malls. These are everywhere you go.
Buying the drugs is easy. John Pullen, the DEA special agent in charge over the state of Utah, gave an example of someone going to a mall and hopping on a social media app and within minutes being able to buy drugs.
You show up at a mall, you can see who everybody else is on the app, who's in the mall, and then somebody has a menu of his drugs, right? He'll have Percocet, Xanax, Oxys on his menu. Come by, and these are the prices. They're all illicit. They're all fake. And they all almost certainly contain fentanyl. And you can just go on that app, you can meet the guy in the food court, and you can pay him through Cash App or some other means digitally.
The DEA says the pills are coming into Utah from Mexico, from the Sinaloa and Jalisco cartels. The pills are incredibly cheap to make, between 2 and 4 cents per pill, and the finished product sold on the streets 24 months ago was roughly $12 a pill, but because of the massive increase in supply, the prices come down. Today they sell for between $5 and $6 per pill.
If you go even further out, some of these pills might transit up to Montana, and we see that they could be sold for up to $60 per pill.
If you get a fentanyl pill from the streets, the odds are they're strong enough to kill you. DEA labs in the last year sampled pills and say 7 out of 10 have contained a deadly dose.
We want you to talk to your friends, your family, your kids, your coworkers, that if you're not getting prescription pills from your doctor or your pharmacist, they're likely going to contain fentanyl and they're likely going to kill you.
The drug seizures prove law enforcement agencies are making arrests and getting some of the supply off the streets. In the month of July, 40,000 fentanyl pills were seized by federal and local law enforcement agencies here in Utah.
We do undercover work. We do work from a technology perspective, and I won't go into what that means, but we use planes and drones and troopers on the road. We get information from sources across the country to find out if fentanyl is coming into Utah and try to interdict it that way. And on the DEA's part, we're in 69 cities around the world, and we identify movement of chemicals and fentanyl into the United States and try to stop it before it ever gets to Utah.
2 people were arrested near the end of July accused of trafficking tens of thousands of pills. And according to their arrest record, they are repeat offenders, and now Immigration and Customs Enforcement is asking they be placed on hold.
Is really, really concerning.
Agents with the Salt Lake County-based Narcotics Task Force arrested Sonia Elizabeth Escato Anariba and Elder Del Blato Garcia for trafficking 20,000 fentanyl pills.
And is that amount of drugs taken off the streets, is that going to save lives?
Absolutely.
Arrest records show the 2 were stopped this week while in a Salt Lake County park, and that's when agents say they found the 20,000 pills. Christina Zidow is the Chief Operating Officer of Addiction Recovery Program Odyssey House, and she says 25% of their patients are in recovery from fentanyl use.
I'm seeing younger and younger people using them. So we have a teen program, and I've got teenagers who are out using fentanyl.
The feds also recently arrested Brian Guadalupe Diaz Lopez of West Valley, accusing him of selling 20,000 fentanyl pills to undercover agents.
Fentanyl is the deadliest drug threat this country has ever faced.
Utah is seeing an increase in the number of pills trafficked into and throughout the state. Trina Higgins, the U.S. Attorney for the District of Utah, said the threat is only getting worse.
The amount of damage and destruction to our communities is staggering.
Utah Attorney General Sean Reyes says every state is now a border state facing the fentanyl threat.
It's encouraging on one hand, just like Trina said, that we were able to recover so much, pull so many drugs off of the streets, which equates to saving a lot of lives. At the same time, it's sobering and staggering that there are that many drugs in our community.
Fentanyl was first developed back in 1959 and introduced in the 1960s as an intravenous anesthetic. But the addictive properties, cheap cost, and potential for profit from its illegal sale made it a perfect blend for criminal trafficking. From 2011 to 2021, fatal overdoses involving fentanyl have increased significantly. The CDC reported that overdose deaths involving synthetic opioids, excluding methadone, were linked to approximately 2,600 deaths per year in 2011 and 2012. But from 2013 to 2021, those numbers skyrocketed to more than 258,000. For KUTV, I'm Jim Spiewak.